Hi there, in this Annoto Use Cases video, we're going to talk about all the different ways that Annoto is being used within our customers. So Annoto can be used on any given video. If you're taking a knowledge video from YouTube or any other player, if you're using a recorded lecture, if you're recording yourselves, if you're asking your students to record themselves, you can use Annoto for all different kinds of interactions. You can use it to create a discussion between the video viewers. You can use that to guide your students. You can use that to give feedback to your students or to have your students giving feedback to one another. Basically, anything that comes to mind, you can do that. Let's dive a little bit to take some examples of how Annoto can be used. The first use case is called collaborative learning. Collaborative learning is basically a discussion between anyone who is watching the video. And this can go anywhere that you want it to be. So you can invite your students to ask questions on the video, and you as the instructors can give them answers. Once you do that, you're saving duplication of questions, as by one answer from you, all the students will be able to read that. You can use that to have students asking questions and their fellow students will answer these questions. So basically, you can choose how involved you want to be in the discussion. This can be something that is led by you, or this can be something that you can just sit and watch and read and learn all about your students. Guided watching is more of a structured way of leading the students' watching experience. In guided watching, you as the instructor adding time-based questions or comments or insights on the video. If you recall, any comment that is added by the instructor will get the educator indicator. So the students can always know that this comment or question came from you. You can use Annoto to ask your students any kind of question or add any type of comment. So for example, this can be a knowledge question to make sure that your students really process what they're watching in the video. You can use Annoto to ask your students to share examples of this learning material. You can ask reflection questions, such as how would you handle this situation? You can ask your students kind of like emotional questions. How did this video make you feel? Or which of the examples did you like the most? You can use Annoto to add additional resources to your students, and you can even use that to correct mistakes. If this is a recorded lecture view and you meant to say X, but you accidentally said Y, you can always add a time-tagged comment that says, oops, I didn't mean to say that. Here's what I actually meant to say. So basically, any kind of message that you want to deliver your students, you can do that in the comment space. Annoto is also used to provide feedback to your students. So any video that is uploaded by your students can get feedback from you as the instructor. And any piece of feedback is time tagged, so the students can always know to which specific moment in the video you are referring. And here's another thing that you can do with it. If you're watching a video that was uploaded by your students, before you give the feedback to your students, you can ask your students to watch their own videos and provide self-reflection. There's so much that the students can learn about themselves and that you can learn about your students simply by reading their self-reflections. Think about it. Feedback can be given on any kind of scale that you can think of, starting with giving a presentation, up to teaching a classroom. You can use that for coding videos. You can use that for students showing any kind of skills, such as dance routines, playing a specific tool, kicking a football, anything that comes to mind, any skill that the student can record, you can give them feedback about it. And you're not the only ones who can give them feedback. Annoto is sometimes being used for peer review. In these cases, students are the ones who are uploading the videos, and fellow students are the ones who are providing their feedback. So as you can see here, the ones who are writing are the students. In this case, the instructor is also a part of the ones who are giving feedback to the student. Annoto is also used for students' interactions. So in some cases, the interaction between the students happens so naturally, even if the instructor is not a part of the discussion. In some cases, we have seen Annoto being used to break the ice between the students or to create students' introduction. So we've had some instructors that were asking the students, hi everyone, please introduce yourselves here at Annoto and tell us why you chose to take this course. In some of the universities, we even have students uploading introduction videos of themselves, and then fellow students just provide feedback or write on these videos. Annoto can be used to provide feedback on any produced video content, meaning you as the instructors can record a video and then send it to a colleague to get their feedback on your video. Things like, take a look at the background of video. I would recommend to change this and that. So you can really use that to have an interaction with your colleagues based on a specific thing that you just uploaded. Annoto is also used in different kinds of assignments. So there are two main ways that Annoto is used for assignments. The first one is in the comment space, in the shared environment. Some instructors are asking the students to watch the video and add comments and insights on specific moments in the video. Some instructors may also ask the students to reply to their fellow students as part of the assignment. The second type of assignment is actually used in the personal notebook. So you can ask your students to analyze the video or to answer specific questions in their very own personal notebook. The personal notebook can be downloaded from the Annoto menu. And then once they are downloaded, this is a file that your students can save on their computer and then submit it as an assignment. In some cases, Annoto is used not in the comment space, not with a public discussion, but in their very own personal notebook. Some students use that to summarize or to reflect on for themselves on the video content. In this case, when you go to the video, you will not see a discussion in the comment space. But once you go to the dashboard, you will definitely see all the personal notes that were added by your students. Annoto is also used for flipped classroom. In flipped classroom, we are asking your students to watch a video to learn a new material or a new topic by themselves before we have a session together. In this case, Annoto can be used in two different ways. One is you can guide your students with questions on the video for them to answer or to think about when they're watching it. The second way is to invite your students to be the ones who are asking you the questions. In this case, you can really plan your next session with your students based on the questions that they wrote. You can also manage all the questions and write notes to yourselves in your personal notebook. Of course, your personal notebook can be downloaded. You can print it and even take it along with you to class. Of course, that all the activity that happened in the flipped classroom and in any other of the use cases that I've mentioned can always be seen in the Annoto dashboard. You can always stay on top of things to make sure that your students actually watched the video, understood what they were watching, and adding the comments and questions that you asked them to. As previously mentioned, the entire Annoto activity always happens in the same environment that you're already working on. If you're working in an LMS, this will happen right there. If you're working in a website, this is where all the action will be. You don't need to go anywhere else or install any application. Everything will happen in the same environment that you're already using. You can use Annoto in any of the activities that you have, pages, modules, assignments, discussions, anything that comes to mind, Annoto can be used right there. If you have any questions, if you want to discuss your specific course or one specific video, we are always here for you. Feel free to contact us for any question or any comment, any insight or any request. Thank you for being with me. Bye.